Hey guys. So the part of Catholic Basics that asks to name 10 saints or blesseds. Okay. I know, all right, this question will also help you answer what do you want your saint name to be for confirmation? So let's see. To answer the question on the test, here's what you do. You think of any of probably if you're from an older Irish Catholic or Italian Catholic family, and you think of like all the older aunts and uncles, if you think of their names, probably all those are saint names. Because back in the day, Catholics usually name their kids after saints. I've named my daughters after saints. My daughter Ariana is after Saint Anne. My daughter Francesca is after Saint Francis of Assisi. Such a cool story. And my daughter Eliza is after Saint Elizabeth Ann Seton. But if you wanted, usually like in big Catholic families, right? You have like Matt, St. Matthew, Pat, St. Patrick, Dan, St. Daniel, Joe, St. Joseph, right? Those are like male ones. And then like female ones, older. So like Claire, Therese, Teresa, Marie, right? Those are all saints. Like, so it's going to be really easy for you on the test to kind of come up with 10. I really do. Or another trick to just for the test, you can just think of churches. St. Mary's, St. Anthony's, St. John's, St. Teresa of Calcutta, right? Like they'll come to your mind. So you're going to be able to name 10 saints really easy, but like what's a saint and like, why would you want to, and what's the deal? And okay, here's the thing. We are all called to be saints. Like that's the goal in life is to be a saint because like, if you're not a saint, you're not in heaven, and not being in heaven is literally hell. Okay. So everybody in heaven is called a saint, but they're saints with small s's. Careful how I say that. S, like the letter, right? So everybody in heaven is a saint with a small s. But to get a big S, I'm saying the letter S, to get a big S, it's so amazingly cool because this is one of the things when I was your age that helped me believe in the faith. Because in order for us to call a saint with a capital S, it actually has to be proven that when they died, they're interceding from heaven. What does that mean? It means that someone can attribute a miracle here on earth to that person praying in petitioning God for them in heaven. Isn't that crazy? So like literally for every saint we have, we have miracles that have proven it. And you guys, like the church, when we talk about the church or the Holy See, we're talking about like some of the most intellectual people of the whole world, like more intellectuals than NASA, like for real. So psychologically, historically, like these people are like brilliant, and they investigate, they look at the cause for saints. So like I'll give you like a present time example. So Saint John Paul the Great, when he died, he was Pope John Paul II, my boy. He's like my favorite. I talk about him a lot. Okay, he died of Parkinson's, right? This is a disease that doesn't have a cure as of yet, please God. And that's primarily what he died of. So after his death, which was like, oh, you should YouTube it, his funeral, you guys. Pope John Paul II holds the Guinness Book of World Records for the largest audiences assembled, not at his funeral, maybe at his funeral too. But when he lived, you know, he held World Youth Days. He was like, let's get every teenager in the world together at a place. And like he did it like over and over. So the first time he did it, like millions of people showed up. Like I went to one. It is the funnest time. You never sleep. You stay up all night. Like you're like sleeping outside in this crazy humongous field, millions of people, and like literally beside you there are people from China, on this side of you there are people from Italy. Like it's so much fun, and it's all young people, and you like stay up all night. You stay up all night and you dance all night, and like you sing, and then the next day the Pope has a mass. It was like amazing. Anyway, sorry, I digress. So Pope John Paul II, of whom I'm a big fan, who started World Youth Days because he loved youth and young people like you and believed you could change the world, as do I. He died of Parkinson's disease. So there was this nun who had Parkinson's disease, and she like went to like her atheist doctor, medical doctor. Like they need like for the church to say you're a saint, like it's like scientific proof. Okay. So she goes to her medical doctor and she's like, look, I'm going to pray to St. John Paul the Great to heal me of Parkinson's. And his doctor's like, okay, but there's no cure for Parkinson's. Good luck, lady. Anyway, she does it. And guess what? She's healed of Parkinson's disease, like documented scientifically. Truth. Anyway, that's one of the causes. We call that a cause for St. John Paul the Great's sainthood. And he was declared a saint. Santo Supido. He was declared a saint very, very early on. And I believe he still intercedes, and please God that St. John Paul the Great, please intercede for us and these awesome confirmation students. So that's like the story of saints. Let's be big S saints, big S saints. Let's do it. Let's do it. Living a saintly life doesn't mean you never fall. It means when you fall, you get back up. It means when you mess up, you run to confession. One of the best homilies I ever heard, legitimately, the priest just said over and over, you fall, you get back up. 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 He said it so many times, you guys, and it just like stayed in my head. And every time I fell, I heard that, like, get back up, you run to confession. Jesus is just waiting. Like, he loves us so much. And like, the more I did that, when I used to, like, when I was younger, and like temptations, like probably like a lot of the things you deal with, like whenever I'd fall, I'd run to confession. And by doing that over and over again, eventually you get grace to like not fall in those same ways anymore. It takes a while, and like I still sin and I still mess up and in different ways, and but I fall and I get back up and I run back to him. Please always remember that. You're never too far. Like Saint Ignatius, I think, says like, I've been all things unholy. Like, there's so many saints. There are saints who like got drunk. There are saints who had babies out of wedlock. There are saints who have killed people. Saint Paul, like, it's crazy, like the lives of the saints. So when the devil like gets to you and like, you can't do this, Father Matt always says, like, you tell him, Satan, like, every sinner has a past. No, every saint has a past and every sinner has a future. So like, in other words, like, there are tons of saints who have messed up and fallen and gotten back up. And that's all that matters. Like, that's all that matters is the future. Forward, always forward, people. Okay, so let me explain to you why you pick a saint name for confirmation. You ready? It's kind of cool. This is a story. I'm stealing it from my dear friend, Jamie Wolf. And I'm going to use like different names. I guess, I don't know. I'm going to make up names because I can't remember her exact kids' names, but Jamie's amazing. Has 7 kids, goes to Russia, goes to an orphanage, sees a baby, and is like, oh my gosh, we need to adopt this child. Like, this child is like neglected. This child has nothing. We need to adopt this child. So say this child's name's like Katerina in Russian, right? They take this child home. She's 6, but she looks like she's 2. She's been so neglected in the orphanage, like never held, not fed properly, like so much so like they put down soup in front of her and she like scoops out like the meat and the potatoes of the soup because she never saw soup with anything in it. She thought it was like weird. She just like took it out. Like when someone raised their voice, she would like run and hide in a corner. She would not speak. When there was snacks or something out, she would take some and hide them in her room because like she was starved so much. Just really like not thriving. Okay. 6 years old. They adopt her, say, in August, September, October, November. So they adopt her in August. And they're worried about her. Like they're praying for a miracle that like this family, like, we love you and like we want you to be a part and we love you, we love you, we love you. Okay, November comes, one night at dinner. The house is crazy. It's dinner. Everybody's like screaming, yelling, blah, 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 blah. It's like so loud. It's kind of stressful in the house because they were worried about this child, but at dinner time they were able to like usually celebrate and like be themselves. So it's loud, loud, loud. And someone's like, Katerina, pass me the salt. And she goes like this. I have an announcement. This girl like hasn't spoken. It's like broken but perfect English. And everyone just looks at her like she has never spoken. And she goes, my name is Kate Wolf, and I'd like you to call me that. And this is my family. And like with naming herself an American name, she takes on the identity of that family. And she says, like, this is who I am. This is who I want to be. And my friend, Jamie, says, we adopted Katerina in August, but she adopted us in November. When you choose your confirmation name, right? Like you were baptized with a name and you were part of God's church. But now at confirmation, you say, this is who I am. And I want to be part of this family. And so we are so excited to have you part of this family. And as you pick your saint name for your confirmation, we ask that it is a saint name and we ask that it has meaning for you. So how are you going to find it? All right, ready? Back in the day, I know it's hard to believe because I am so out of shape, but back in the day, I was an athlete. And so like maybe I didn't pick this saint, but just said you play a lot of sports. I'd be like patron. That means like in charge of, saint of, I'm going to put up athletes. And I'm in Google, like you can go to, oh, Sebastian, check it out. And then you're totally going to read the whole story from a Catholic website. So Saint Sebastian's the patron saint of athletes. I'm going to look up Saint Sebastian under Catholic Answers, because Catholic Answers or the Catechism are really the only sites you can trust, because other sites won't give you a Catholic answer. And I can read about Saint Sebastian, and oh my gosh, he's the patron saint of athletes because he was totally amazingly strong. He was shot with arrows. This is like really true, like a gajillion times, and still kept like running around. Like physically, he was so strong. Okay. Patron saint of, let's see, I am gonna pray. Let's see, animals. I love animals. So maybe I want to find the patron saint of animals. Oh, look at there, Saint Francis of Assisi. I think my auntie has him in her yard. Okay, and then I would look up Saint Francis of Assisi in his story and see if I relate to it and if I like it. Another way to find your saint name is one of my favorite things ever. Lifeteen.com. They have an amazing website. It is Catholic, so you don't have to worry about getting a crazy saint or a crazy saint story. And then you could go in here. You should definitely check out this website too. I love their articles. Their articles are like teens asking questions. It's totally stuff you want to ask. Okay, saint names, or like I don't know if that's gonna work, but assembling according to the day's best list of confirmation saints. Look at this. Look at what Lifeteen has. The biggest and best list of confirmation saints for guys and girls. Come on, that's perfect. That's what you need. You can look at this, and I'll probably tell you why, and you can read it. It happened. All right, so this article is going to be great. You should read this article for your homework. Just do it. Okay, and why is saint for confirmation? They're going to give you probably even a better lesson than I did. And saints who I'm pretty sure were actually superheroes. And all these, they have all the stories. Really cool. This is my daughter, Saint Joan of Arc. She picked that. Maximilian Kolbe is amazing. Okay, so anyway. She's awesome. Here's some more. Look at them all. Look at them all, you guys. This is where to go. Lifeteen.com. Do it. Okay, so you get to pick your saint name. That's what saints are. Let's all strive to be saints today. In Jesus's name, amen.